Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we've finally caught up with the Scourge of Ghyran. It's day 19, and this is the 19th video, and it's time to seek enlightenment from the Lumineth Realm-Lords. We have our lore drop from Adam. I know I say it every time, I really do like that Adam's back. I hope that we start to see him on some of the live shows and reveals and things again. I don't know if we will, I don't actually know what his role in the company is anymore, but it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to see a familiar face. But we're not here for that, we're here for the rules, so what do we have? There are 3 new heroic traits for the Lumineth, all of which benefit other units. Interesting. A flawless commander adds 2 inches to their troops' move characteristic. Very handy when you're taking objectives or angling for a charge, or both. On that subject, Martial Perfectionist can give your infantry +1 to wound if they're fighting an already wounded foe. Sounds nice. The final trait is Ether Quartz Requisitioner, wherein the bearer chucks a lump of ether quartz to a wizard who needs to cast a particular spell. That's something that we've been seeing recently as well, isn't it? Talking of magic, there's a new spell law for the Lumineth, the Law of Prismatic Resonance. All of the spells in this law are unlimited, meaning you can cast each of them multiple times with different wizards. In fact, Beam of Haish inflicts more damage the more it's cast, while Unseen Force first stops an enemy unit running, then subtracts 1 from their hit rolls if cast on them a second time, while Beacons of Protection, units wholly within 9 inches of any Lumineth wizard can ignore the first point of damage inflicted upon them. Its range increasing with subsequent casts. I think that's a first, isn't it, for Age of Sigmar, having access to 3 unlimited spells in a spell law? Very interesting. I like how they're playing around with stuff like this. This is always fun. There are 2 war scrolls for the Lumineth, the Vanari Bannerblade and the Light of Eltharion. The Light of Eltharion is such a cool model. In fact, it is in this picture, isn't it? Yeah, just there at the back. It's basically just like a floating suit of armor. Eltharion, I think, is my favourite character from the High Elves. I'm sure it was him. From the High Elves in the Old World, he was, or the model I remember, he was blinded, and he was like a blind High Elf sword master. Really cool model, really cool lore. I don't actually know what happened to him. He was probably murdered off when the Old World was originally destroyed. But it's nice that he's in Sigmar, and that's when I found out that sort of linked in with that model. I was looking at Lumineth and thinking, yeah, maybe. I didn't, but I thought maybe. But I'd love to do something with that model, to be honest. It is beautiful. Anyway, back to our article. The former is so revered by other Vanari that they tighten their ranks to protect it. If the Bannerblade is on an objective with a unit of Urlan Wardens, you'll be hard-pressed to shift them, and the Light of Eltharion can now return to the battlefield if destroyed. We're not entirely sure how you destroy a being made of light. Cover it in a cloak of darkness? Confuse it with mirrors? Chuck a prism at it and turn it into colourful beams? We'll let you figure that bit out. I don't know, but he can come back apparently, so that's cool. We do have another General's Handbook fact. It's number 9. The magic section of the core rules has had a few subtle but important updates. First, priests now have a means to build up ritual points without needing to declare one for the prayers to chant first, and there's a reduced penalty if you happen to annoy your god, whether through meditation, intense concentration, or simply by sticking their fingers in their ears to drown out the sounds of carnage. They can now set their rituals in motion more effectively with the universally known prayer, Sacred Rites. The rules for manifestations have also had an update, bringing clarity to which rules apply to all manifestations and which apply only to moving or static ones. We'll take a closer look at them shortly. So Sacred Rites is the only one that we get. It is a prayer unlimited, and obviously you do it in your hero phase. Pick a friendly priest to use this ability, then make a chanting roll of d6. On an unmodified chanting roll of 1, remove 1 ritual point from that priest instead of d3. Effect, give a number of ritual points to the priest equal to the chanting roll. So it is a prayer. It's unlimited, so you can use it on everyone to build up those points. It's useful, isn't it? If you really want to get your prayers off on the higher level, Yeah, it's definitely useful, and you could maybe do that on a couple of priests and then do like something more impressive on a final priest or something. I think that it's good and it sounds interesting. Manifestations and cleaning up those rules is pretty good. I'm interested to see how all of this is being changed and tweaked, because manifestations in the first year have been a little bit like the Wild West, haven't they? But that's it for now. Come back tomorrow for a good time. Slaanesh, baby. Okay, so what do we have with these rules? Faction rules, Lumineth Realm-Lords, heroic traits, aspects of enlightenment, hero only. Our first one is a passive, flawless commander, effect, adds 2 inches to the move characteristic of friendly Lumineth Realm-Lord infantry models when they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit. Quite nice. Our next one is a once per battle reaction. You declare a spell ability for a Lumineth Realm-Lord wizard within this unit's combat range. Ether Quartz Requisitioner. Effect, add 3 to the casting roll for that spell. Not quite how I thought it would be from the wording of the article. It's nice, it's once per battle, but it is +3, which is going to be quite handy if you really want to get the big spells off. I just don't like once per battle abilities as such. But then it's probably free. We do know that some of these are going to have points allocated to them. It's probably free. Yeah. If you want to use it to fill out a slot, why not? And finally, a combat phase ability, any combat phase, Martial Perfectionist. Declare, pick a visible enemy unit within 12 inches of this unit that is damaged or that had any models slain this turn to be the target. This turn to be the target, okay. Effect, roll a dice on a 3-up, add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by friendly Lumineth Realm-Lord infantry units that target that enemy unit for the rest of the turn. We've seen something similar to that. Again, it was only a few days ago. I can't remember which faction it was. Might have been Seraphon. No, it was probably a few before that actually, wasn't it? So you would take that and okay, it's within 12 inches. And okay, it sounds good. +1 to wound. But you got to roll the dice. It goes off on a 3-up, so it's not guaranteed. And it has to be attacks that target that enemy unit that is within 12 inches, but they have to target that enemy unit, so you're probably within combat range of them. But for +1 to wound, which is nice, you need to roll a dice on a 3-up, and then you've got to go into the unit that's damaged, and you have to probably be in combat with that unit, or end up in combat with... No, because it's in the combat phase, so it's not like you're charging anywhere or you've got any movement. Yeah, I don't know if that's as good as I initially thought. And I don't think that's as good as the previous version of that we saw. Was it the Gloomspite Gits? Did they have something like that? Somebody had a better version of that, I'm sure. Now onto our spell law, the Law of Prismatic Resonance. All of these go off on a 6, and they're all unlimited. First one, Beam of Haish. Declare, pick a friendly Lumineth Realm-Lords wizard to cast this spell. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of them that has not been picked to be the target of this ability this battle round to be the target. Then make a casting roll of 2d6. Add 1 to the casting value of this spell for each time it has been cast by a friendly wizard this turn. Effect, inflict D3 plus X mortal damage on the target, where X is the number of times to a maximum of 3 that this spell has previously been cast by a friendly wizard this turn. Bit wordy, isn't it? So you can do it 3 times on 3 different wizards, and it gets easier to cast and does more damage every time, but you can't do it on the same unit, so you have to do it on 3 different units. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's good, it's very nice, and the fact that you can keep doing it is really cool. You can do up to 6 damage on that final 3rd spell. I mean, you can do it, if you have like a billion wizards, you can keep doing it, but you don't get any more than a ceiling of 6 damage. Yeah, you're going to have to think about your targets with that, aren't you? You'd start off with the strongest, and then move around to the weakest unit so you do more damage. It's definitely interesting, it's definitely different. Unseen Force. Declare, pick a friendly Lumineth Realm-Lords wizard to cast this spell. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of them to be the target, then make a casting roll of 2d6. Effect, until the start of your next turn, the target cannot use run abilities. In addition, if that enemy unit has already been picked to be the target of this ability this battle round, subtract 1 from the hit rolls for the target's combat attacks. First time you can't run, second time -1 to hit. That's just generally nice, isn't it? That'll really slow down melee armies if you popping that off. And if you've got maybe 4 wizards, and put that on 2 units at the higher level. That could be devastating for a turn. And our final one, Beacons of Protection. Declare pick a friendly Lumineth Realm-Lords wizard, I almost said lizard, to cast the spell, then make a casting roll of 2d6. I've said wizard far too many times this video. Effect: until the start of your next turn, ignore the first damage point allocated to friendly non-monster Lumineth Realm-Lords units. Each phase, while they're wholly within 9 inches of a friendly Lumineth Realm-Lord wizard. Add 3 to the range for each additional time this spell has been cast by a friendly wizard this battle round. So it's just the first point of damage, but it's each phase, and you can string it out quite a few inches if you need to. That might be the best first point of damage mitigation ability that we've seen, but do you really need to do it multiple times? Again, it's an interesting choice. I don't know how good those spells are, but they're definitely giving you options and different things that you can do. You can do damage, you can just hinder enemy units, or you can help protect yours a little bit. But they all go off on a 6, they're all unlimited, they all stack with pretty nice additions. Yeah, I like where this is going. I like that they're playing around with this stuff. This is nice. It might not be the best, but this is nice. So now over to our 2 War Scrolls. We're going to start with the Light of Eltharion. He is a 6-inch move with a 3-up save, 4-up ward. That's not bad. 6 health, 2 control. Ranged weapon, Searing Darts of Light. 12-inch range, 3 attacks. Hits on 2s, wounds on 3s, 2 rend d3 damage. Hits on 2s? Not bad. Melee weapons, the Fang Sword of Eltharion. Crit 2 hits, 5 attacks, hits on 2s, wounds on 3s, 3 rend, 3 damage. Oof. And the Selenari Blade is anti-hero plus 1 rend, anti-monster plus 1 rend, only 2 attacks, hits on 2s, wounds on 3s, 1 rend, 3 damage. 3 damage weapons is nice. We've got a passive Supreme Swordmaster. Effect: ignore negative modifiers to hit rolls and wound rolls for this unit's attacks, and to the characteristics of this unit's melee weapon. Wow, that's nice. And then we have a hero phase once per battle reaction. You declared a summon ability for a Lumineth Realm-Lords unit, and this unit has been destroyed. Eternal Light. Effect: that summon ability has no effect. Instead, if that spell is cast, you can set up a replacement unit for this unit more than 9 inches from all enemy units and wholly within 12 inches of the unit that used the summon ability. So, a 3-up save, 4-up ward, 6 health. When he dies, you can bring him back. I'm reading that as with full health. That's nice. That's really nice. Keywords: unique, hero, inventory, ward 4-up, order, Lumineth Realm-Lords, and elf. He is 250 points. Regiment options: not to one Lumineth Paragon, any Lumineth Realm-Lords. I don't think that's bad at all. 250 points. I was going to say it's pricey, but it isn't really, is it? 6 health is low, but then a 3-up save with a 4-up ward while we've been doing this series. I don't think I've seen any other hero units that have anything like those defensive stats. And his melee weapons might not be stacking a load of attacks, but he does damage if he gets them through. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s, and you ignore modifiers? That's brutal. We do have their faction pack, so we'll take a look at his standard faction pack war scroll now. So, standard faction pack, the Light of Eltharion, 6-inch move with a 3-up save and a 5-up ward, so his ward has got better already for Ghyran. 6 health, 2 control, range weapons, Searing Darts of Light, 12-inch range, 3 attacks, hits on 2s, wounds on 3s, 2 rend, d3 damage. Melee weapons, the Fang Sword of Eltharion, 4 attacks, hits on 2s, wounds on 3s, 3 rend, 3 damage, crit 2 hits. And the Selenari Blade, 2 attacks, hits on 2s, wounds on 3s, 1 rend, 3 damage. Anti-hero and anti-monster plus 1 rend. So he's had extra attacks on the Fang Sword as well. Wow. We have passive Supreme Swordmaster, which is exactly the same. And the other passive, Spirit Armor. Effect: ignore all modifiers to save rolls for this unit, positive and negative. So he will save on a 3 regardless, with his 5-up ward. Okay. Keywords: unique, hero, inventory, ward, 5-up, order, Lumineth Realm-Lords, elf. Interesting. This war scroll is 210 points. So it's a 40-point difference, but what do we think? Is it worth the extra 40 points? What you get is a better save. Well, no, you don't, that's a lie. You get a better ward, a much better ward. Saving on 4s is significantly better than saving on 5s. You lose being able to ignore modifiers to save rolls, but you gain 1 extra attack with a Fang Sword at the same damage with the same abilities. His other blade stays the same. He still has Supreme Swordmaster, and for the extra 40 points, on top of the extra damage, on top of the extra ward, you gain a reaction where you can summon him back into the battle at full health. It's very rare that I think we have a hands-down winner when comparing War Scroll to War Scroll with these. For the extra 40 points, I am taking that new War Scroll every day of the week. He's brutal, he's great defensively, he can come back from the dead. Can he actually die? And he's just an amazing model. What's not to love? Yeah. We might just have seen the best unit that we get in this update. So moving on to our second unit, before I get too excited, the Vanari Bannerblade. So we have a 6-inch move with a 3-up save, 5 health, 5 control. Which is this unit? Melee weapons, the Bannerblade sword, crit mortal, 5 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 4s, 1 rend, 2 damage. We have a passive, defend the banner. Effect, add 1 to save rolls for friendly Vanari infantry units while they're contesting the same objective as this unit. So you kind of want to castle up a little bit with them, or a unit of these with a unit of something else. But a free +1 to save rolls is pretty good. Keywords, hero, infantry, order, Lumineth Realm-Lords, elf, and Vanari. So would they get the benefit of their own? Is their Vanari, their infantry, they would be contesting the same objective as this unit? No, I don't think they could buff themselves. Could they? I don't know. Maybe they could. Let me know in the comments if they have another unit with them contesting the same objective. Do they buff themselves and the other unit, or just the other unit? Because I'm not entirely sure. But they are 130 points, regiment options, any Vanari. Which model is that? We also have their, obviously, standard rules, so we'll take a look at those as well. Hopefully it's got a picture of what the unit looks like. And it does, which is great. So, the standard faction pack, Vanari Bannerblade, 6-inch move, 3-up save, 5 health, 5 control. Melee weapons, the Bannerblade sword, 4 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 4s, 1 rend, 2 damage, crit mortal. I think that's the same. Passive, World Banner. Effect, add 3 to the control scores for other friendly Lumineth Realm-Lords units while they're wholly within 18 inches of this unit. That's not bad either. Keywords, hero, infantry, order, Lumineth Realm-Lords, elf, and Vanari. And that unit is 130 points. So points-wise, they're the same. That unit, the new unit, the Ghyran unit, has 1 extra attack. I read it as that defend the banner ability will friendly Vanari infantry units while they're contesting the same objective. They are a friendly Vanari infantry unit themselves. I think that would apply to themselves, and the passive on the standard War Scroll doesn't apply to themselves because it specifically states other friendly Lumineth Realm-Lords. The 3 control is nice. I would take a +1 to save rolls over 3 control if you're looking at bunching up this hero with another unit. Again, I think we have, for the same points, I think we have a winner with a new War Scroll. It does very different things to the standard War Scroll option. One is a buffing unit for taking objectives and holding objectives. The other is more about pushing forward and contesting and hopefully taking those objectives and then leading forward with other units. So for the points, which is the same, you have a choice to make. Do you want to be more aggressive at taking objectives, or do you want to be holding objectives, is what I would say there. The extra attack is nice. Hitting on 3s, you're probably going to be getting, there's a more chance of getting that extra attack through. Crit mortal, 2 damage. It's not bad, but as a single unit, 1 extra attack, I suppose it's the same point, so why would you not take that extra attack as well? Yeah, okay, I think both of these War Scrolls, no, I don't think the Bannerblade is better. I think it's more tempting. I don't think it's better. Let me put it that way. The Light of Eltharion, I think that is just stand up better, even with the points increase. I think that Ghyran unit is the best unit we've seen so far, hero unit we've seen so far, and will probably be the best hero unit we see, because that's just ridiculous. He's brutal and defensive, and he comes back from the dead. Well, whatever he does. Very nice. I like both of these, actually. I really like both of these. Oh, this is dangerous territory for me. I like the idea of the spell lore. On face value, they have their merits. It really depends how you want to run them, but there's a good option of different things to do in there, and they go off on 6s, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think on the whole the spell lore is a win as well. A very nice addition to this army. And I don't think you can go too wrong with the heroic traits. I think the heroic traits are the worst that this faction pack has to offer, but then I'm just having a quick look at the heroic traits in the faction pack, and they don't sound that good either. Of the 3 of them, 2 of them are once per battle abilities. At least these, you can use them constantly. I think this is a really good faction pack. It's not quite Osiarch Bone Reapers, but it's one of the better ones that we've seen again. I like this. The standout is the Light of Eltharion. And the Bannerblade, I think. I think that's a very nice glow up. But everything else is nice in here too. Lumineth Realm-Lord players, let me know what you think, because that's more important than what I think. Let me know if I've missed something with how the faction interacts with itself. And also let me know how that Bannerblade ability would work, because I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work for both. It's probably a bit gamey, but that's how the ability is written to me. I'm happy for it to be either way, in all honesty, because it's a strong ability. We're back on track, so we'll be back tomorrow with whatever the next one is. I think it's going to be Slaanesh, but we should hopefully be able to keep up now. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.